It is February the 7th, 2015. I'm afraid to click anything. I'm Dana Durnford. I can't remember my own name. The nuclear proctologist.org. And you can find these live streams at livestream.com and repost to that beautiful girl by Dana. And my email is danadurnford@hotmail.com. And hi to everybody. It was a tough one getting up and streaming that time. My goodness. What is the internet coming to? Oh dear. So anybody's not familiar, what happened that time? See the other stream down below it? I couldn't get that one to work. I rebooted it and showed up above it. And it looks like everybody showed up above it. Yeah, it looks like everybody showed up above it. Hi everyone. We'll take a few minutes because of all the controversy. That time 7 minutes to try to get a stream out. Wow. Excuse me for people who's catching this at A Beautiful Girl by Dana. You just missed that few minutes ordeal, 5 minutes ordeal. Ain't you the lucky one? So we just smurfed up everything I wanted to do. I had another session opened, and I had worked the entire day on it, and it wouldn't let me stream. So I had to switch back, get the other stream here to get up and see if that would work. And so yeah, it's been one of those days, hasn't it? One of those days where no matter what you're trying to do, you can't get it to work. And so let's talk about Indian Point anyway. The stream is up and running. Looks like we're all good. It's because I'm trying to stream at 3 different sites. Probably got something to do with it. I still haven't got the kinks out of it. And so we just abandoned all that at the same time to get this stream back up. Make sure we got it running. Hi everybody. Good night everybody. And I had quite a good show put together for us tonight. I worked the entire day for it and I don't get to do it. That's okay. We don't mind that. That's the way the ball bounces. And if you look at that map you're looking at right now, that's the fallout from NOAA for 40 days from Fukushima. And we're going to come back to that in a few minutes. Right now we're going to talk about Indian Point. And so I'll get rid of this extra stream. I can't catch up to nothing now because we lost 6 minutes. We're usually really good. We've been at this a very long time. Columbine family, Fukushima University, Colorado State University, bad red cover up. Let's talk about Indian Point before I get sidetracked. I'm already sidetracked. Okay, let's get Dana in the motion, in the gear, and all that other weird stuff there. Indian Point. So Indian Point power plant. Unit 1 has been stopped because mechanical problems, they can't repair it. So normally the power plant's license was for 40 years, and that was because the reactors and the buildings themselves and all the equipment and the pipes and the water cooling system, everything became brittle from the neutron bombardment from all the radioactive isotopes. And from the radioactive isotopes, think of radiation when it's on a material as a screwdriver becoming magnetized. And so that's known as transgenic waste, where you transfer the energy to another object. Piece of wood, piece of paper, piece of glass, car, house, tractors, helicopters, you name it. Chernobyl has big graveyards of helicopters and tanks and backhoes and tractors and forklifts. Okay, so Unit 2, let me get this right. people an enemy. Let me see. That probably is not good. Unit 2 had been running without an operating license. So Unit 1 was shut down. They weren't supposed to be using it. Who knows with these guys? And Unit 2 has been running without an operating license since 2013. Hang on. Yeah, 2013 September. That's Entergy was doing that. Okay. What the NRC considered an application. And India Point 3, where the transformer explosion happened in 2015. Transformer. Like you could believe anything these people tell you. Transformer fire is what they blamed the last accident on, and they haven't been able to recover. It's kind of like WIP. WIP had a truck fire on Valentine's Day, and they couldn't go back down in the mine. Lucky for them, 8 days later they didn't have to, because then there was a radiation release. They didn't have to go back down. But because of a truck fire, now think about WIP, where there's 55 football field sized caverns. So if you got a truck fire, you get on the other side of the truck because all the wind's being sucked through the mine, you put the truck out and whatever, who cares? But you don't abandon the mine for a week. Oh, they didn't go back down because there was a radiation leak 8 days later. Right, so these people are notorious, unbelievable, unimaginable lawyers, and everybody's there got to go with the lawyer because their job depends upon it. They ain't got a job tomorrow if they told the truth. No, we had a radiation release. No, it was a truck fire. But we're all going to the hospital to be checked for truck fire inhalation. Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. Okay. So this plant is closest to the biggest population for plants out there, allegedly. And that this plant is only a few miles away from West Point. So there is a kind of a good side to all of this. I can explain that. I can justify those words if you like. Don't get me started. You don't want to test me. 290,000 rapes in the military in the last decade. Think about that one. If you raped your own that much, how many did you rape in Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria and Somalia and everywhere else, Yemen? You raped 290,000 of your own. Do you think they give it up right then? You got 22 veterans committing suicide since the Gulf War, or the the great Iraqi-Afghanistan war. 5 million dead, millions missing, millions in refugee camps. Millions and millions and millions of orphans. They get 10,000 Taliban. 20-odd thousand drone strikes down there in other countries to get the same 10,000 Taliban. 7 million refugees in Syria to get whatever's left of the 10,000 Taliban. Oh, I'm sorry. ISIL. Created, funded by West Point's graduates. Now working for the CIA and the military-industrial complex machine. Hopefully they're all sucking in their buckyballs. That would be a great thing. Because they don't realize, right, they're sitting there in Buckyball City and everything around them is Buckyball. I said Buckyball because Buckyball is the appropriate word. And these reactors, let me pop over here and over there and up here. The best way to look at that is this is a social experiment. Everybody's being held at gunpoint by the banana-toting freaks out there. You better give us all our money, we'll let the bananas free. We'll put them on your beaches. We'll put them in your children's swimming pools. We'll set the bananas upon you. The pack of... Like every time I see bananas, all I see is these beady little eyes follow me. Every one of them. A big stack of bananas, and they all got these beady little eyes, and they're following me everywhere I go, like Dina. The banana hustlers. Anybody don't know what I'm talking about? I'll catch on in a few minutes, I'm sure, because I won't. Shut down Indian Point. See, now that guy got his act together. I like that. Cops ain't going to run out and beat him down. He's not stopping traffic. He's out there tying knots. I like it. Swim ashore, leave the boat there. Never go back. Just leave the boat there. Only go back if you need a new banner or something. Make sure it's not taking water or whatever. But pretty darn cool, you ask me. Indian Point Nuclear Power Plant. So when the wind blows, does it blow in one direction the whole time? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Does it blow in the one? Dana's hyperbole. Okay. So if you're... Now, cancers around nuclear power plants without accidents are... Are you ready? Are you ready? You ready for this? You ready for that? It is 6 times more breast cancer if it's in 15 mile. But that's because all the study was done. But we know from the snowstorms created by power plants in adverse conditions how far the radioactive material is actually flowing. If you don't understand that, a power plant is burning, cutting through 3 million gallons a minute. So it's boiling all the eggs and larvae and small fries and insects and everything else at the same time. Trillions and trillions a minute. You got any idea what's in a glass of water? How many little microscopic creatures that they destroy every minute? 1 million gallons a minute. And they sterilize the water permanently. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to you. Put a nuclear power plant where your fresh water is to, particularly salt water. But if you're within 50 miles, you're getting real serious doses. Now, it works this way. If you suck it in, you're going to get cancers 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 years down the road. I'm covering all my bases. But there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up before that. And cancer is the little mouse in the room. 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies is the 1,800-pound gorilla in the room. No one sees her. Ready to jump on you. Alzheimer's, dementia, autism passed on to your children, diabetes, heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary gland problems. Long before cancer shows up. And if it's in your body, and because the water down there is poison in Indian Point, that water you're drinking is bioaccumulating in your body, it's sequestering in your organs, in your muscles, and in your bones. And what that does is your body attacks it every time it gets new stuff, and it does every time you drink water, get a shower, get a bath, blah, blah, blah. Shocking, I know. Unbelievable. It's unreal that this industry has put you in this position. They just keep lying. Oh, there's nothing wrong. No, there's a transformer fire. No, there was a fire. Like, no matter what it is, and particularly Indian nuclear power is devastating. The fuel, the pools where they store all the material on the site. They got nowhere to put it. It's always hemorrhaging into your community. Even if they shut the power plants down now, like Indian Point, that'll hemorrhage in your community for thousands of years. You won't be there. Fukushima going to kill you off anyway. But if you live there, they're not going to come out and give you money for your house. They're not going to come out and admit they got a problem. You got to admit you got a problem, and you got to get out of Dodge and put a lawsuit against them. Try to recover your money down the road. Don't hold your breath. But take care of yourself. Put everything in storage. Get out of Dodge. If you can. A lot of people can't. A lot of people feel they can. But you could if you had to. Forest fires come through, burn it out, you fucking well, pick your ass off, go somewhere else. Excuse all the Newfoundlandese and French and all that other stuff. But, look, what's more important, your health or your real estate? That ain't worth nothing when you're gone. You have to liquidate it to pay for your medical bills in 5 years instead of 20. Right? Do you get where I'm coming from? Do you understand how this works? This creeps up on you. And so, when you got it in your body, your white blood cells are attacking it all the time. The white blood cells are displacing the oxygen molecule in your blood system. They fight for that same real estate in your blood. And so, you're lethargic and lazy, and you don't feel like working. You're not able to perform at work properly. You're not able to perform functionally with your friends and your families or in your own life anymore. You're degrading. You're bioaccumulating it. You're becoming susceptible. Your pH is changing dramatically because of the displacement going on in your body by your body fighting. Every second, this radioactivity is beating into your body. It's sequestered in there. Like potato chips and walking in sunshine and bananas, there's no bioaccumulate in your body. Your body treats it as homeostasis. It equalizes it. And so if you're eating bananas or potassium 40 or natural emitters, the stuff on the planet is not radiation. It's emitters. There's about 160 of them. We've created over 10,000 man-made ones. We added extra electrons onto it. It's such a hard time getting that stream up and going. What else have I got? Let me get through that and we'll come back. So this is a nuclear destruction zone if everything runs perfect. If everything is taken just fine, according to the newest flavor trendy mouthpiece they got rolled out to manipulate you and deceive you and misrepresent what's really going on. Okay. 3 Mile Island lasted 5 days. Studies have shown a couple of 100,000 people got cancers in the valley surrounding it because there wasn't much wind and it would have drifted down there and hung out there. Despite what you've been told all your life. Chernobyl contaminated 150,000 square miles. You still can't eat the meat, sell the milk, or sell the land in UK, Ireland, Scotland. 2 years ago, they opened the fishery industry, the freshwater one, in Sweden. Because Fukushima, they were like frigate. Fukushima's destroyed everything. Might as well let them eat their fish if they want it. We have an extinction event playing out in the Pacific Ocean on the coastline of Canada. We'll get to that in a little tiny bit. 3 Mile Island. I can digress if I'm not paying attention, so better pay attention. So the wind is not going to blow just one way all the time. Once this stuff hits, it's there forever. Once this stuff lands there, and the stuff that's going into your water, the stuff that goes up into your mountain is washing back down in your water anyway. It was always contaminated. It's just now they're admitting that there's a big leak there. They're storing it all on the site. Every time it rains and snows, you got this stuff is being liberated back into the environment. The 45-gallon drums they're storing it in on site can only hold it for a few years. There's so much electrolysis going on because of this highly energetic material. It deteriorates the drums within a couple of years. We don't have any way of containing it on the planet. If you contain it, it'll detonate when it comes in contact with oxygen. In other words, if you let it build up, that's why you hear the words, oh, they're venting radioactive steam. Time to run. When they said they're going to build a nuclear power plant there, they sentence you to death. Everybody who lives within a 50 mile will end up with cancers, autoimmune deficiencies. Cancer is the last one. There's 1,800 shows up first. Alzheimer's and dementia and diabetes. Plus now it's in your body, and your body is fighting it for the rest of your life. You can't, there's nothing you can do with that, only eat very healthy. Don't eat GMO because they got glyphosates and formaldehydes and toxins and dioxins, and they stop you from uptaking the nutrients and the micro and the macro that your body craves. I'm over here, sorry. So Indian Point Bowline plant is a gas plant. I think gas and coal, I can't remember. And those generators they got there put out more energy than Indian Point. And all you got to do is move away from Bowline plant and you'd be fine if the Indian Point wasn't contaminating it also. The contamination from that will, like, think about a forest fire, a big forest fire, 50 miles away from you and you can't see out in your garden. You've had that happen to you. I know you have. So imagine if that forest fire stayed into a... But you can see a forest fire. You can't see the radiation, but you can see the forest fire. But those particles are thousands of times bigger than the stuff I'm talking about. And the stuff I'm talking about, just a single one will give you cancer. That's why they have the laws for sarcophaguses. That's why we have terrorist laws. Okay for them, not okay for this. I get it. Double standard, right? But you know what I'm saying to you? These plants are burning off 120,000 liters a day in your community. But all the drums, all the material are stored on the community. Who's going to go in and fix it? See, a pound of this stuff will kill everybody, 1,500 people in the theater. In 20 minutes, it'll kill everybody in the front row in the first minute. A pound of it. And you're talking millions and millions and millions of pounds stored at your site. And that has hundreds of billions of microscopic cracks releasing stuff that is 1/10,000th the size of that. 1/10,000 millionth of a meter. Take a meter, divide it by a million, divide that by 10,000. These are what I'm talking about. You can put 2 million of them in the head of a needle, you can't see it, distribute out, there's 2 million cancers. And we know it gives you cancer. We know it gives you cancer. Let's try this again tonight. We know it gives you cancer because... Where am I going to get with this, I wonder? Because... No. Didn't do it for me. I'm lost now. You'll never get back again. Let's go that way. Because Dr. Raymond Gilman, and let's fix that right quick so we can get through. We'll have to move it back after it. Dope. Dr. Raymond Gilman, I don't know what's going on. Let's keep going. He done studies on beagle dogs and beagle puppies. And what he showed was 144 beagle dogs. And that... See, it shouldn't be doing that. Okay, I know what's going on. Hang on, I fix it good. I fix it good. There we go. Tumors of the lung, skeleton, and liver occurred beginning about 3 years after exposure from 144 beagle dogs. Now, they've done this for 35 years. And so, lung tumors found in 46 dogs, liver tumors in 20 dogs. Remember, we're talking about 144 dogs. Look at your last two sentences. The finding in the dogs suggested similar dose-related biological effects could be expected in humans accidentally exposed. But see, that's not getting exposed to the whole host that's coming out of Indian Point. No, that's just plutonium or curium. Right? He done studies on curium, which is the major byproduct in the radiated nuclear fuel rods. And so what is that site full of? It's full of irradiated nuclear fuel rods at Indian Point. Right, all the fuel rods stay on the site. So the biggest releases coming out of there, the most likely spill. Oh, Dana, it was tritium, Dana. Oh, Dana, it wasn't all the other stuff, Dana, it was just tritium. Give your head a shake. You're talking 2,000 man-made radioactive isotopes. But here's some studies on tritium. Hang on. Just hang on. Hang on, buddy. Hang on now. Oh, tritium concentration in the water. 2 types of lakes in the vicinity of the nuclear fuel. And so what they showed was it was about 0.7 naturally to 2 becquerels, or even man-made pre-Fukushima, pre-New York, Indian Point. So 100 becquerels was what the Italians said would be a limit for man-made. Man-made is 3H. But naturally it was like that, okay? There was nothing there. A couple of becquerels at best of natural stuff. That was tritium, not tritium 3H, man-made. Here in Canada, we're allowed 7,000 becquerels a liter. 7,000 becquerels a liter. Think about that one. Think about that one. Oh, baby. That's madness. Okay. Let's keep going. Indian Point. We're almost wrapped up with Indian Point. So what I'm trying to say to you, that's pretty clever, eh? Gotta love the activists. Indian Point. They know it's been hemorrhaging out there for quite a long time, see? Now it's finally made it in the news because West Point got all the little brats getting their education there to go out and kill everybody on the planet. Millions dead, millions missing, millions of refugee camps to get 10,000 Taliban gangbangers. And you fired 5.5 million rounds a month. That's what West Point done for 9 years to get 10,000 gangbangers. 1,440 minutes a day there was a bomb dropped every minute. 1,440 a day. That's 50,000 massive bombs every month to get, for 9 years, to get 10,000 gangbangers. 290,000 rapes in the military, get 10,000 gangbangers. So yeah, I'm not going to withdraw my comment. Strontium 90 and tritium release is not that bad at Indian Point. You can come down now. The NRC says the military will handle our air defense. That's the day I wanted to buy with a bag of cash, basically. PR department. It's not bad. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's trendy. It can't hurt you. It's like potato chips walking in the sunshine, getting on an airplane, sleeping next to somebody, Dana. Great. There we go. We voted through that too. Let's come over and talk about holy the Fukushima. I mean, here's James Hansen.
There are multiple reasons, I think, why there's opposition to nuclear power plants. Nuclear energy is harder for people to understand, the idea of radiation. I mean, radiation is natural. The Earth is bombarded by radiation all the time.
Right, and that got nothing to do with a nuclear power plant. So, here we go.
So the radiation that was released, for example, in 3 Mile Island, that exposed the accident at 3 Mile Island.
What is he talking about?
Exposed residents near.
Right, he told you natural radiation is everywhere. And so, what happened at 3 Mile Island, right, he grins after he says, I can't even listen to it, was equal to getting on a
radiation,
getting on an airplane.
Is equivalent to the amount of radiation that you get by flying in a commercial aircraft across the continent and back.
This is ludicrous. That's natural. See, and that's James Hansen, one of the biggest. He worked for the government. Here he is, blatant, in your face lie. In your face. Treating you like an idiot. Most people don't know the difference. That's why he's doing it to you. See, when you ingest a man-made radioactive particle, you got poisoned. There's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up before the cancers. So it's an insidious lie that he told you. But right quick, let's just wander. Let's just wander through this right fast. Hell on Earth. This was 2006, John Vidal. Look at the third sentence. For the next 10 days after Chernobyl, spewed equivalent 400 Hiroshima bombs. It only lasted 10 days, see? And 3 Mile Island lasted 5 days. Chain reaction didn't stop, allegedly, on its own. Okay. But 400 Hiroshima bombs over 150,000 miles. Because it's consuming everything all around it. So we're into the Fukushima mode now. We're past the first half. We're going to do the second half in Fukushima. Anybody's not familiar with that. And so while a story that came out last year in the Smithsonian National Geographics was this story here. Some urchins waste away, others come out of hiding as the fallout from sea star disease ripples along the California coast. And said so far urchin die-offs have been observed and documented at 4 sites along the 200 miles between Point Conception and Santa Catalina Island, and at a 5th site off Baja, California. Okay. So 4 spots in the 200-mile zone, and they declared a mass mortality for the sea urchins throughout the Pacific Rim nations. Because that's how the ocean works. Okay, I'm going to show you something really rather unique coming up. Didn't get exactly get her long enough to do it. We crowdfunded this operation you're looking at here. This is up earlier last year, 2015. And what we done was 260 days, 15,000 miles of the coastline. All the arrows you see are the representations of the places. That's the entire coastline of Canada. It's only a representation by arrows. 15,000 miles, 260 days on that, in that little dinky. And something is wrong. Okay. In that little dinky. So instead of finding a normal, healthy, rich, every square millimeter jostling for life, we found a naked, barren, and empty. These pictures are from the same place pre-Fukushima, or post-Fukushima, pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima, pre-Fukushima, I'm sorry, pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. I'm a little slack here tonight. So normally every square millimeter is jostling for life. Now you would starve to death. you would starve to death. Normally up there in that same spot, these pictures are from pre and post. This is pre-Fukushima. It'd be 74 to 75 of these per square meter. Now you would, there's nothing anywhere, a bird would starve to death. Instead of being dangerous when you come ashore and just wonderful and loaded with life, the whole shoreline is naked. And we done that. I mean, you think about how rich this coastline was. You get 500 of those sea anemones, just one species alone per square meter. It was extremely rich and diverse and amazing, rewarding trip to go up there. Now it's naked. That bird I shot there on that beach right here, on that beach there. I looked up and seen the bird shot it. He was looking at Zoe, my doggy, because there is nothing else on that beach to eat. I was like, okay, Zoe, you come over alongside of me. Oh, not liking that guy. Instead of being like that wonderful in the Haida Gwaii, and when we got all these pictures up at the nuclearproctologist.org, Dana, anytime you're ready, Dana. At the nuclearproctologist.org. I know, Dana, stop fooling around. Dana Durnford at the nuclearproctologist.org. See, I know I get it at some point, just didn't know when. Okay, let me keep going. Let me tell that story, because that's what we're doing tonight. We're telling that story. So Fukushima had a 9.0 earthquake. It released a tsunami up on the whole country, 400 miles of the country. And let's talk about that for 1 second. Just give me 1 second. I got too much. Okay, here we go. That's just the way it is. Oh, I still got that picture up there. My apologies. What have I got done to everybody? I forgot. Oh, yeah. I got a little undo button there, too, by the way. When I make mistakes like this, see that? Am I at the right spot? Okay. Here it is. The coastline where all the people died. That's how many people died along the coastline of Japan. Right, you can see where all the damage was. Okay. Now for my next trick, next trick is the power plants along the same coastline. See all the nuclear power plants? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Hang on. Bear with me. So it wasn't just the power plants, but what I want you to think about was those people that died in that area we're talking about. That's why they died, because that came through their country, took out all the power, so the nuclear power plants along the coastline where the people died had melted down. But here's another one for you. The 4 buildings I'm going to show them to you coming up. Those 4 buildings created 9 million bags. But what is 9 million bags? How do you really explain 9 million bags? How do you kind of comprehend what 9 million bags means? Dana, make some sense. Dana, cut. You ready for this? Huh? Dana's stuck. Huh? Okay. So 9 million bags. These are 1 ton bags. They're 1 ton. 1 ton. 1 ton. Everybody say it with me. Let it roll right off your tongue. 1 ton. Ton. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So the Empire State Building, how many people are familiar with the Empire State Building? I could bring us up a picture, maybe. Dana, you can bring up a picture, Dana. Hang on. Empire State Building. See? I don't see jack shit, Dana. You ain't got nothing there. You ain't proved nothing, Dana. Hang on, man. Just like, dude, pressure. Okay, we're almost there. Yo, me, Empire. Look at that building. It's big. You think that's big? That's 350,000 ton. 350,000 ton. And so Fukushima's 9 million bags below me would make 24 of those Empire State Buildings. And they came from, are you ready for this? Wait till you get a load of that. All of that, 24 Empire State Buildings, came from Building 1, Building 2, Building 3. My audio's a bit loud, eh? Hang on. You better. And Building 4. Does that look like it's a good building? I think they should go and fire it back up. I do. I really do. They just go and fire. They can probably start that one back up. I know recently they admitted that one's all gone and that one's all gone on the inside. They haven't confirmed if that's all gone, so we're still holding our breath waiting for them. And we're waiting for them to tell us if that one's okay. Don't hold your breath on that. They don't like holding anything back. So what you ended up with was 24 Empire State Buildings at 350,000 ton a pop was the animosity equivalent of 4 buildings that haven't stopped, that just out of Fukushima prefecture, not from the nuclear power plant itself, not from all the barrels, the 1,000 barrels they got there, not from everything they released into the Pacific Ocean, not from the extinction event I just showed you, just in 1-ton bags. So how is a nuclear power plant, and by the way, those bags are going to leak forever. How is a power plant clean, green, too cheap to meter? I'm so far lost from trying to wrap my mind around how anybody even dreamt up that one. Hang on, I'll show you something. Why not? We're showing you everything else. That's going to work out. 4 reactors in Japan lost their entire inventory. They created 9 million bags. 9 million bags. 9 million bags of radiation. It only takes one man, look at the bottom sentence, it only takes one man-made atom to hurt you. And there's 15,000 abandoned mines, no one bothers mentioning, in Navajo country alone. So I think it's pretty safe to say we're dealing with a bunch of lawyers. I'm pretty safe to say that that's what they do for a living. And they'll attack me relentlessly. And by the way, I'm going to court in a couple of days, so we'll be missing a few streams because, hey, we done 15,000 miles of the coastline, 260 days on the ocean in a little dinky. I'm about to do a documentary showing an extinction event, and I get hit with a slap suit, a judicial version, a criminal version of it, dragging me down in another jurisdiction into hotel rooms and ferries and everything else till we're bankrupt, was the intentions. No intentions actually going to trial. They might drag it over to the last second and say, okay, Your Honor, we withdraw the case. That's what they're doing to me. And they stopped me from being able to do the things I would have been doing since I came off the ocean. You know, that we crowdfunded Dana and the Hounds of Fukushima and everybody else out there who don't want a label. Not that that's a label. It's just a... Hounds of Fukushima is an affectionate way of me expressing people that who want to see, you know, what's going on, who wants the facts, who wants to understand the minutiae of all the details, want to understand where we're to in this game and how bad it is and if it's bad and if it's real. That's what we done. We explored the entire coastline. We showed all the insects were gone, all the migratory and residential birds were gone except for around 11 species. And that the industry has come out repeatedly in the last 5 years and told us like a banana potato chip walking in the sunshine. And that's got nothing to do with a chain reaction. It's an outright, unimaginable, disgusting betrayal. And they've been at it for 70 years. And that's why India Point has all the issues it got. Hi, everyone. And so that's about all we got tonight. It was a screwy night, unfortunately. That's the way it goes. But I just wanted to come out and tell the story again before they lock me up, or who knows what they're going to do down to me at this time, at this trial. They might get delayed for another court appearance. And that's brutal, right? That's costing a fortune. It is what it is. We're not worried about it. We'll fight back the best we can. We'll deal with the system, and we'll hold them accountable. That's all there is to it. They can't hide the death of the Pacific Ocean. The last whale will be dead before 2016 is gone. We have mass mortality after mass mortality after mass mortality throughout the coastline. All the species have been decimated. The only species left intact on the coastline is the human species. We're way up the food chain. That don't mean we're safe. That don't mean we got a chance. That don't mean we're not doomed to the same fate. We got to come up with technology to stop the reactors in Japan. It stopped in 3 Mile Island on its own. Stopped in Chernobyl on its own. Stopped at the SL1 on its own. It didn't stop at Fukushima. We're only sending in the homeless. We're burning it in the incinerators over there, liberating that back into the environment. There's stuff you can't even destroy it with battery acid. They're burning it. That, think about the smoke particles from forest fires come right across the Pacific Ocean in a couple of days. Call it jet stream. I know, Dana, you're conspiracy theorist. No such thing as jet streams, Dana. Ocean current, big conspiracy theorist, Dana. Always saying there's jet streams and ocean current. You can't prove it, Dana. You can't prove it. Can't so. Already proved. It's already well known. The jet streams are real. Yeah. But let me tell you one thing for sure. One thing for sure about man-made radiation is that man-made radiation doesn't exist in space. It's not created by the sun. The sun creates the elements. We add extra electrons onto it and destroy it. And so when people are telling you it's like the sun, solar rays or stuff from the outer space, it's an outright, outrageous, unimaginable, unbelievable betrayal of that person upon you and your friends, their families, and their loved ones. And the people that have told you repeatedly, like Woods Hole, like the University of Victoria, that is like smoking cigarettes is worse for you. Look, you can smoke for 20 years and still might not kill you. You get a single man-made atom inside your body, you're going to get a cancer down the road, but there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies that are going to show up before. Hugs for everybody. Good night, everybody. Sorry, once again, like I said, these impromptu streams. I like making my own words up impromptus. Please let me have my own words. Good night, Frank, Holly, Nash, Amters, and Mickey, and Pam, Strontium Mike. Thank you for all the work you're doing, buddy. Good stuff, too. Oomph, Nep Killer. You can find Strontium Milk. I always call him Mike. Strontium Milks. I call him Mike all the time. Still puts up with it. You're a good soul, man. Put up with my shit. The hell. It's okay to come out and bash Dana. I don't take offense to it. Hi, Elaine. I'm not going to be insulted by it. I got a big collection of people bash me. It's all nonsense. None of it's any truth. If there was, I correct it and apologize. But when it's all nonsense, I can't come out and say no, it's like a banana when I know it's not like a banana. I can't come out and say it's harmless when I know it's not harmless. When I like the studies I showed you from Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute in Macao, Albuquerque. Good night, everybody. Probably get another stream in tomorrow. I won't do a 24-hour gig till I come back, I guess. No biggie. Ice cream, you for you. Good night, everybody. And anybody that I missed, Jan is out there, Brooks is out there, Candace is out there, Terry Ann is out there, everybody is out there. People that, there's Alex is out there, was writing all the music for us. We got people in Australia, and New Zealand, and Germany, and Holland, and Norway. I've been invited to another conference. And, it'll be free on the internet for the weekend. They're willing to pay my way there and all this other stuff. I'll tell you about it next chance I get. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Nolan. Nash, everybody. Hugs. You take care, folks. Hi, Britt. And did I miss anybody's last scoop? No. I got everybody in pretty good. Hi, Jan Brooks. See, Jan was there. It'll be double dog darn tootin'. She's got Miss Milky the Clown 1 up on YouTube where she never stops posting, never stops looking, and she'll share it for free. Well done. So many people out there doing it. Jan has made a big impact on many, many people's lives and continues to be a big player. And we're very proud of the work she does. Hugs for everybody. We'll see everybody tomorrow sometime. We'll get one more stream in before we head down for court. We'll give you some updates. Take care, folks. We'll see you in a bit.